Hello food fans, going to have some spaghetti today. This is not Thursday. Usually Thursday is my spaghetti day, but we're going to have spaghetti, this being a Saturday, and we'll have some spaghetti from Stouffer's. This is a 12-ounce package of frozen spaghetti from Stouffer's, and it costs $3.48. And we also are going to have another brand of spaghetti. We're going to have Banquet. It looks like they go to the same photographer. Banquet spaghetti and meatballs. And this is a 10-ounce package, even though this package looks bigger than the 12-ounce package. They're different thickness. And we're going to have some salad, my special salad, the Feature Man salad, and we also are going to have a secret dessert. So let's get started. And we cooked both meals the way that it said to do so on the package. That way I can't go wrong. I'm going to mix up my salad. This is my super secret salad that I try to have just about every day. We've got some cabbage, carrots, tomatoes, mayonnaise, relish, and ketchup in here, and it is not only delicious to eat, it's very colorful to look at. This is a pretty picture indeed. Let me get a spoonful of salad to begin. On my right I have the Banquet meal with meatballs and spaghetti, and in the middle I have the Stouffer's. It looks like there's more Banquet than there is Stouffer's, but there's 12 ounces of Stouffer's here in the middle, which I am stirring up right now. It's a 12-ounce serving. And the Banquet is a 10-ounce serving. Banquet is much lower cost, $1.68 versus $3.48 for the Stouffer's. The Stouffer's looks pretty good when I mix it up. It looked at first like there was too much sauce, but it looks about right. And this is a meat sauce, not meatballs, in the Stouffer's. And in the Banquet we will mix this up. Spaghetti is good. Spaghetti is good. Spaghetti is good. Spaghetti is good. I don't know who invented spaghetti, but most inventions are invented by lazy people. Did you know that? If people are satisfied with the way things are working out, they don't have any reason to invent anything. So they just let it go and they keep doing it the hard way. Then somebody comes along, gets an idea, and makes something that makes it easier. And not only does he or she get to have an easier day, but they also make money if it is a royalty type invention. Here's a meatball and some of Banquet's spaghetti. It is delicious. I know I've said that before about some other foods. This is quite good. I decided not to put cheese on the spaghetti. You can certainly put grated cheese on here, but I want to taste what the spaghetti tastes like. Let's try some of these Stouffer's. I will talk a little bit today about songwriting and songwriters, some of whom I've known. There's a Stouffer spaghetti. Let's try another serving here. I'm glad to see they do have enough spaghetti in here, and it's not all sauce. By the way, the kitty cats are doing all right, and the building that once had been a storage shed that I was fixing up, it really looks nice now. More Stouffer spaghetti. It's very hot. Speaking of hot, it's supposed to be cold. I think Tuesday night it gets down below freezing in Tennessee. We're very close to Halloween. Let me try some root beer. This is A&W. A&W root beer. Looks pretty good. It's cold and delicious. I have some salad, then I'll talk about songwriters and songwriting. Who makes more money from a song? The songwriter, or the person who has the first hit record with that song? I can tell you that can vary a lot depending on the song, the songwriter, and how the song becomes a hit. The salad is so good. I'll tell you about a songwriter who wrote a song with a partner. He had a songwriting partner. And his net worth is estimated right now to be $90 million. The singer-songwriter that I'm talking about is Paul Anka. He wrote probably 5 hits that he himself sang. They were fun songs, teenage love songs. And I'm sure he did all right as far as the royalties on the songs, because most of his songs sold 1 million copies. More salad. But Paul Anka's royalty checks were not mainly coming from his 45 RPM vinyl records that were hits that would get in the top 10, sometimes be number 1. That's not where his big money came from. It gave him the attention that people who needed music noticed. Oh, Paul Anka seems to be a pretty good songwriter. He seems like a pretty nice person. We'll listen to some of his songs and see if we can use them in our productions. His writing partner for his really big song was Johnny Carson of The Tonight Show. Paul Anka and Johnny Carson wrote the Tonight Show theme. It was often played 5 nights a week, 4 or 5 or more times in each show. So it was played a lot, so there were on-air royalties for the song. If you can write a song for a TV show that keeps returning, do it. Songwriters get royalties. They don't get residuals. Actors get residuals. So Paul Anka made $90 million. Chuck Berry's net worth is guessed at $10 million. Chuck Berry wrote a lot of hit rock and roll songs. And a lot of the songs that he wrote became famous enough when he sang them that other artists also sang them, like Maybelline. Marty Robbins was one of the first cover a Chuck Berry song when he recorded Maybelline in the key of A. If you want to hear something that sounds like a mix of some other songs, listen to Marty Robbins' recording of Maybelline right at the beginning, strumming an A chord on guitar. Sounds almost exactly like Elvis Presley's first hit recording of That's All Right. Play That's All Right by Elvis Presley and then listen to Marty Robbins' Maybelline. $90 million seems like a pretty good amount of money to get for writing a song. Chuck Berry wrote a lot of songs that made a lot of money that were recorded by other artists. Hank Williams wrote a lot of songs with which he had hits on the charts, and which later were recorded by other people and still are being recorded by other people and put on albums and done in live shows. One of the I guess most respected songwriters of the last 50 or 60 years was Bob Dylan, D-Y-L-A-N. Salad is good. Who made more money with their music? Paul Anka or Bob Dylan? Paul Anka is said to have amassed $90 million for his net worth. Now the net worth sites that I've seen, they get the net worth quite wrong quite often, but they might be close to being right. Stouffer tastes even better after it cools off just a little bit. Paul Anka or Bob Dylan or Chuck Berry or Hank Williams, Lennon, McCartney. I'm going to have a sip of A&W. It's quite good. You get a meatball and some Banquet spaghetti with tomato sauce and meatballs. By the way, the pictures on the boxes. There's a picture of the Banquet, the big box of Banquet with the 10-ounce serving and the small box of Stouffer's with a 12-ounce serving. I would guess Stouffer's would sell more if they made bigger boxes. And the cover picture, Stouffer's is from a side angle. That's not the best angle. Sort of from a top down, like having a drone flying overhead that is made out of spaghetti. That's a good picture for spaghetti. The $90 million that Paul Anka made with his songwriting, singing, performing, and his net worth. Let me get some Stouffer spaghetti here. This doesn't want to get onto the spoon. It is so good. Bob Dylan, his net worth, and about all he did was songwriting. He has had some hit records, especially of songs that he wrote. Elvis recorded Bob Dylan, Johnny Cash recorded Bob Dylan. A lot of people recorded Bob Dylan, and he managed to amass a value of $500 million. Songwriting royalties are good. They're paid only once. But if you get enough people to record your song, you'll get a lot of checks. Songwriters I have known include Eddie Dean. Eddie Dean had two big hit records. One was titled Hillbilly Heaven, and the other was One Has My Name, the Other Has My Heart. Let me try spaghetti from Stouffer's. These serving sizes look almost the same. I used to do a lot of shows in Southern California. Quite often I'd be doing a show with Eddie Dean. He was a wonderful gentleman, wonderful singer. Look him up, E-D-D-I-E, last name Dean, D-E-A-N. And if they've got a video of him doing My Woman, My Woman, My Wife, or This Time You Gave Me a Mountain, I think you'll like the way he does it. I knew Roger Miller. I used to sit at his table at Palomino on talent night. His son would get up to sing. When his son was a friend of mine, and Roger Miller was a songwriter. Roger Miller wrote a lot of different songs that became hits, some that became huge hits. Roger Miller had a minor hit record about 1960. And Andy Williams heard the song and recorded it. And it's called In the Summertime. And the lyrics at the beginning were, in the summertime when all the trees and leaves are green, the redbird sings, I'll be blue 'cause you don't want my love. That became a hit. And about 3 years later, he put out a song called Dang Me, D-A-N-G-M-E, Dang Me. It became a top 10 hit. Followed that up with Chug-a-Lug. And his probably the fourth record he put out that became a chart record was a monster hit. By monster hit I mean just big hit record. And it was a country song that became a popular pop hit. It was called King of the Road. Good title, good song. Then he followed that up with another good hit song, Engine, Engine Number 9. His songs became so popular that he was given his own TV series, which lasted for a couple of years. If you can write the right song, it'll carry you just like an airplane, right up higher and higher. And if you get other people to record your song, that's a plus as far as financial consideration. The Banquet spaghetti is good. Irving Berlin wrote enough songs and lived long enough that he saw some of his songs go into the public domain. You have to be very old to have a song that you wrote become public domain. The kitty cat probably is trying to drive a car out there. More Banquet spaghetti. It used to be, back in the 60s when I first started making records, the record company would pay 2 cents per side for the song, and the 2 cents was divided up. 1 penny went to the writer of the lyrics, 1 penny went to the writer of the melody or the music. This is quite good. I think the amount of money paid per side now is about 11 cents. I'm not sure. You have to check it every few months and see if it's changed. If you can write a song and even if someone else has a hit with it, you're going to get the money, a lot of money. The person who has a hit record will do fine with the royalties from the record. The song being sung on a certain show. There have been songs written where they sort of went in reverse. They wrote and recorded a song and then later made a movie from the song. They did it with a song called Ode to Billy Joe. It was a song first, it was a big hit, then it became a movie, and I think they might have had a follow-up movie. They did that with a song called Tom Dooley. I think I'll give Stouffer's a slight edge in taste. It is more expensive. The Banquet spaghetti is also quite good, but Stouffer's has something in there, that, some kind of flavoring. Spaghetti is just a good food. Good, almost anything you do with spaghetti is good, even if you make it with pesto. Most money I made with songs was on the Gong Show. Every time I wrote an original song, the amount of royalties I received on the Gong Show were about $1,800 per song. When you add that to the amount they were paying me for an after performance, it was a pleasure to do the Gong Show. It's fun too. There was one fellow, his name was Johnny Western. He was an MC for the Johnny Cash traveling show. He was Johnny Cash's MC on the shows Johnny did live in the early 60s. Johnny Western wrote and sang a song about a TV show that he liked, a show called Have Gun Will Travel. And Johnny Western wrote a theme for it, sent it to the people who produced the show. They used his theme in every episode after they discovered it. You can write brand new songs from old public domain songs. The Mickey Newberry song where he mixed 3 old Civil War tunes together into a song that was called American Trilogy. That shows that there's still life left in all those songs that seem to have disappeared. The Banquet dish, plastic dish, appears to be bigger than the Stouffer's dish. A little bit more spaghetti. More. I want more spaghetti. First I'll get some A&W root beer. By the way, I don't get any compensation of any kind for any of the foods that I mention or anything. I don't have sponsors. I do not want sponsors at this time. I'll just make sure that you understand that anything I say about the spaghetti is not paid for. The spaghetti is paid for. Got it from Walmart. Time for the secret dessert, and it is from Walmart. This is 74 cents, an apple pie, and this is good. Let me make some room here. Apple pie calls for a big spoon. They make apple pies and cherry pies and blueberry pies. And they all taste pretty good. This is good. What have you been doing this week? Why do you want to do that? That makes sense. Mmm. Secret dessert is very, very excellent. I'm glad you could stop by. Glad you got here before the cold weather became a problem. I'm not a fan of the winter. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for watching.